Hello and welcome to MyWebUniversity, my YouTube channel. Also, I'm going to be showing you MyWebUniversity.com, my website. In particular, this video is going to be about my online book, which is called The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. And I'm going to be covering chapter 15, which is Learn Linux Online for Free. I'm going to be showing you how to learn Linux using Ubuntu online and practice it using the web interface that I built in Python. So the whole interface is available for you to learn and practice for free. Everything is for free, nothing, no charges at all. You just need to have a browser internet access and then a browser and desire to learn. The rest of them is on me. Whether it's the storage or SSL certificate or providing the website and making these classes, everything I provide you for free. So just start learning and use this kind of video for further learning. Let's go to the video. I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to cover today. So on this topic, we're going to just tell you who can benefit from this video the most. IT and DevOps. Obviously, if you're working on the IT business, information technology, and dev in operations, dev operations is like you're just a sysadmin, a developers, an operation person. You're all working, collaborating together with IT folks, and then making all the application and system, and then operating system, databases, networking, to be always available, accessible, and scalable at all time. Integration of that one is all the job of IT and DevOps folks, as well as sysadmin. Sysadmin is a major kind of impact for any IT business. So the sysadmin role is very, very crucial. And you could have junior, intermediate, and advanced system admin, or senior sysadmins or subject matter expert. They could do it, and then on top of it, you could have system analysis, system analyst, and also DBAs and network administrator, and so on. But at the same time, sometimes you might be a data scientist that you use some sort of R language or Python or Bash scripting or some sort of tools such as grep and egrep and fine string and this and that with PowerShell and Python and combination of Bash and Corn shell, ZSH, and so on. A lot of these tools, whether you use it on the GUI or the command line on the cloud, you're going to do some kind of programming as well as using other tools that is already available to do some kind of data visualization and big data working on the cloud, or maybe open on the virtualization environment, client server architecture, whether it's a VMware or OpenShift. You will be doing a lot of data scientists with MATLAB, R language, Python, Java, Go language, C, C++, Bash, Linux operating system, and Windows operating system, PowerShell scripting, and so on. Researchers, you could have all kind of researchers, whether they are on the IT business, on DevOps, or programmers, or sysadmin, DBAs. You could be doing a lot of research, and there are hundreds of thousands of technical documentation on my website, mywebuniversity.com, in PDF format, as well as HTML format, as well as reference to the PDF documentation or HTML documentation to the internet. So that way, once you come and visit my web university and search for Python, then I'm not only giving you the manual pages on Python, but I also allow you to code reusability feature of Python that allow you to just reference HTTPS URL reference. So from there, I take you to the internet, come back, and so on. All of those ones. Similarly for NodeJs, similarly for Go language, similarly for Java, any Python, Perl, Ruby, all programming languages. You could just come in my website, look for the documentation, that is already printed in PDF file, and that's chapter 12 of my book, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. If you visit The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu, chapter 12, then you can just find out all kind of documentation for you to just read, and you don't need to buy books anymore. Yeah, everything is there. And you don't need to go to Google or any other companies that you're looking for IT information in terms of manual pages or technical documentation, because you don't need to browse on 10 different links in order to find what you're looking for. If you're looking for Python, just search for Python PDF files on chapter 12. Then from there, I take you to the source, which is python.org. If you're looking for Node.js, similarly, you type in for Node and then npx or something related to, and then once you find that documentation, I take you to Node.js. Similar for Perl, similar for Ruby, and so on, Go language and everything else. So researchers definitely could benefit from a lot of technical documentation. Students, mostly computer science student, information science, students that are in business taking Python classes or Bash scripting or Linux scripting or shell scripting, a lot of those ones will definitely benefit from it. And the students at all other kind of math department and maybe other departments that are related to courses. For example, you're doing a data science course and you need to learn like R language or Python or Bash, then definitely Linux operating system and those scripting and languages are going to benefit you, which I have more than 2,000 videos on MyWebUniversity YouTube channel for those topics that I just mentioned. And so you could benefit a lot from it, whether it's Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Rocky, and CentOS, or maybe Debian version of it, maybe Fedora distribution, maybe Windows 11, maybe Windows Help, maybe Windows PowerShell, Python, C, C++, Awk, Bash scripting. All of those ones are available at my website and my channel's videos already. The developers and software engineers. Sometimes developer could be all kind of developers in the IT and DevOps kind of cloud developers, or maybe Amazon Web Services developers, maybe some kind of developer and the Oracle database stuff, whether it's MySQL or Oracle itself, or maybe Microsoft Access on Windows or SQL Server on Windows, or maybe Informix, Sybase, all kind of SQL standard query language or structured query language. The reason SQL stands for both, it is structured because it has data manipulation, data control language, data definition language, and it's normalized. It has functions and procedures that you could write, and then you could create all kind of tables and table spaces, and have entity relationship diagram between those tables, and then the relationships are based on keys and primary key, foreign key relationship. So and on top of that one, it is also called a standard query language, because the same SQL statement for data manipulation language that you're doing insert and update kind of information, or for data control language like grant and revoke privileges, or data definition language, creating tables, creating databases, creating accounts, users, and profiles and schema. All of those ones are standard, whether you use it on Oracle or Informix or Sybase or SQL Server. The syntax is very, very close to each other. That's why if you're using it on MySQL and maybe on Oracle, a little bit, maybe 20% different. So the fact that when you're working on Linux operating system, Linux and different distribution of it, whether it's Fedora distribution or Debian or Linux kind of Openssl or any other ones, they all are similar in kind of system 5 or system 7, depending on what year you use it. If they are on system 7, most likely they are 80% compatible and they are POSIX compliance. But if they're on system 7 and then Red Hat, obviously the etc OS- release is pointing to the etc Red Hat release. And for Rocky would be etc OS release would be pointing to etc Rocky release. And then on Solaris, it's etc release file. So those kind of little configuration changes are like 10 or 20% different. Some of the commands are different, but they all support GNU utilities like GAWK and grep or set, egrep, and all of those information, VI, VIM, and Emacs, all of those ones are similar. So you could learn from them. So developers and software engineers, if you're just doing engineering on the software like PLM, product lifecycle management, or any kind of engineering that you're doing it, basically you're supporting a software, an application. Whether it's cybersecurity aspect of it, whether it's a database aspect of it, networking application, you're working on those software. The software has to be robust and it has to be always secured and it always has to be enhanced. And Linux operating system is just one of the operating system that does all of this for you very, very easily and very, very efficiently and very, very secure. So Linux Ubuntu I'm showing you, but Linux Red Hat, Linux Rocky. And this demo today, I'm gonna show both Linux Rocky version and enterprise level Rocky 9 and also Ubuntu 24.04 long-term support. So let's get started with that one. The other part is system engineers, DBAs, and network admins. I already mentioned their names, so basically they will also benefit. For example, a network admin configuration of the host and IP addresses, DNS, and DHCP within the operating system. How does it work? How does it work on the routers, and how routers are configured, and what does netstat do? What does IPF config does? What does IPA does? All of those commands are basically in support of the network administrators, as well as DBAs. For DBAs, your DBA, you're installing Oracle or MySQL or Sybase or Postgres, then you need to just add the user, the account, and then the permissions for the directory structures, making sure the Oracle account and install group and all of those ones, sudo access, all of those ones are very, very important on Linux to do it, configure it correctly. And if you're a system engineer, obviously you need to understand the operating system that you're supporting and then how you do the integration between the application, whether this a client-server architecture, it's a cloud computing, it's a virtualization, it's a standalone server, it's connected to maybe high-performance computing, HPC kind of platforms. It's running in the clusters and it's supporting millions of users, or maybe hundreds of users, or thousands, or maybe 10 users. No matter what, you need to have the security of it configured properly. Okay, so with this being said, let's just go to MyWebUniversity.com website. And on the website, I have maybe a lot of resources available for you. One of the resources, videos in English, which is this channel that I'm providing you right now, the video. It is about 2,000 videos that I have here. There's all kind of courses, Windows subsystem on Linux, R language, MySQL database related courses, Python, R, SQL in one video. Windows subsystem again, and then there's video in soccer, videos online in shorts that I made some videos so you could get introduced to what I'm teaching you online for free. So some people, they don't like to watch 2 hours video or 1 hour video, but the shorts somehow get their attention, saying that, hey, there are some resources here for this type of a person, I could benefit it. Maybe you could find a job for yourself. Maybe you could help your cousin, brothers, friends, loved ones, and share with them. And so there's a lot of courses, C++, Red Hat. And this course is from zero to hero, is Red Hat, about 4 hours. And there's thousands of people, more than 25,000 people watched it. This is Solaris Linux, Solaris Unix. This is Linux advanced level courses. So if you go here, just say on the videos, you will see a lot of the videos that I have here. Whether this IT DevOps is a very, very important course that I made. Another one is a 2006, I made it. And this one is Linux shell scripting, chapter 5 of my book. There's Python, PowerShell videos, Windows tips and tricks that you could benefit from it. There's thousands of them. So I'm not gonna go through each videos. Cybersecurity is very good. This one is about 8 hours video for Linux Ubuntu. So a lot of these videos are gonna benefit you, whether you're learning Visual Studio Code or Rocky language or Python or Windows subsystem. There's hundreds of thousands of videos for you and the topics. I'm just gonna quickly show you a little bit of it. And then I stop here. See the data structure in Python. If you're learning Python and you're changing from maybe Perl to Python or Bash scripting to Python or PowerShell to Python, then you could learn Jupyter Notebook, IDE or Visual Studio Code, Pycharm. In this video, I not only cover the string data structure, sets, less tuples, less comprehension, data dictionary, classes and polymorphisms, encapsulation, inheritance, all of those, whether it's one or four of the paradigms of it, which is abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphisms. And then I'll cover all of those ones on these. I have covered all of those ones on those videos. Please watch them and learn from them. And if you're learning Rocky Linux, this video is for you. So I'm going to teach you also, there's also PDF, thousands of PDF technical documentation that is online here that you can see that I have. And Windows, a lot of videos on Windows, a lot of videos on Linux, backup, system administration, activities. So there's everything that you could do. Out of those 2,000, definitely it will find you a job. If you're looking to enhance your career for a job, just come and visit MyWebUniversity. I guarantee you in 6 months, you will be a lot different than what you know today. Because this is 36 years of my life experience with computer science degree in Bachelor of Science and Master of Science in computer science, as well as teaching at part-time, while I worked full-time at prestige companies. And then I also taught part-time at Computer Learning Center, Cal State Fullerton, National University, Pasadena City College, prestige colleges and universities as well. And I taught computer science courses, Python, C, C++, Oracle, a compiler class, operating system classes, and as well as Python, and then I mentioned Bash scripting, a lot of them. Just at Pasadena City College, I taught at least 4 different semester of Python programming language, and 1 semester of C++, 1 semester of Bash Unix scripting. So with all those experience, now I'm making these videos for you online for free in order to do it. And why am I just doing this one all for free? Is because at one point I wanted to just come up on my website. I want to introduce you to my book here, The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. This book has 15 chapters, chapter 1 through chapter 15. And today I'm teaching you chapter 15 of my book, which is the Learn Linux Online using Ubuntu. But before I go through the chapter 15, I show you, for example, some of the reason that I did this online website. And I have started this website in 2000. Don't get me wrong, because my Web University, the name I chose, and I had the intention 25 years ago or 26 years ago. On August 5th of 2000, I started. I had the intention to someday I could help a student that they cannot afford to go to college, or help students that they are in needs of buying books and they cannot buy the book. They cannot afford it. So I wrote this Python program that generated hundreds of thousands of technical documentation, no matter what subject you're looking for, as long as it's in the manual pages or is some kind of programming languages, I will just generate you a PDF version of it. So that is on chapter 12 of my book here, chapter 12. But at the same time, if you're looking for Red Hat Rocky Linux manual pages, there's about 11,000 technical documentation here for you. All of them, you could just go and no matter which one you click on, you will I just generate you a PDF version of it right there. So I click on Podman systems and dash service. Podman is similar to Docker, so it is just what it is. And then I just give credit to my Web University, Python, Rocky Linux manual pages, and free PDF. So I could just generate this file using my own skills and Python programming language is free PDF, and my storage on the server side, and I did this one in a very nice structure. So you could just come in and click on any of them, you get the technical documentation on that subject. So the nice thing about this is like if you're looking for a Red Hat, I just generate you about 12,000 PDF files here. So let's say you're looking for base 32, and then you say, what does base 32 do? I didn't know what is base 32, but the base 32 or base 64 is on the system level, is the libraries that are accessing the 32-bit versus 64-bit. So all of those ones on the syntax and everything is right here. And then notice here, the see also section, it tells you that what is related commands or functions that you could learn from it. So if you are looking for another one, just randomly, I'm going to click somewhere here. Let's say I go here, and then this one is blada-run. I'm not sure what is that one. And it says run a command inside the container. So there might be like a Docker kind of related utility. But then if you're looking for a particular one, say, give me Python, you could search for it by pressing Control F and then search. So let's say Python 3.9, you can see the documentation here for Python 3.9. And this is 12 pages. But at the same time, if you say, okay, that's great, Wahid, what do you have for PowerShell? So like similarly here on the list of commands for each chapters that I show you, let's say you're an advanced person, you're learning Linux on advanced level, chapter 4 has about 88 commands that you can practice, and at the same time, for each row, I make a video online for you. So you could watch the entire video and then learn every command of it. At the same time, if you're just kind of a person to practice it online, you could click on one of the commands. Let's say you click on process stream 3. You say, what does process stream 3 do? They say, display a tree of a processes. So it's like almost to similar to Solaris operating system P3, except this one has a S here, which means a stream, process stream 3. So if I just click on the process stream $3 $, the number 1, it says run my process, saying that I was invoked by shell, born shell, and then this is my process PS3. But then if you say show me the process history of one, which is the system D process, then there's a lot of processes here. You can see here there's a lot of processes, but system D invoked all of those ones. And I will show you later on in chapter 15 that you can put other flags on it, you can type it in. Here I just did it for as an example, so you could practice those ones. And at the same time, if you want the HTML version of the manual pages for PS3, it's right here. You could just read it here. And if you say, I like that one, but can I get a command like pwd? Yes, the manual pages of pwd. And you say, what is pwdx? Print a working directory of executable for the process. You can see that it is just giving you that. So, and then you say, Wahid, that is great. So a student didn't have to buy books. So you say, yeah, you don't have to. You just go on the PDF version here and read the PDF as if it's a book. I just generated on my chapter 12 of the book. And remember that I showed you on chapter 12 of my book. So every time you click on a PDF version, I take you to on the same man to PDF.cgi, which is a Python script that I wrote to generate you on the fly for a given programming. Earlier, I mentioned like Node, for example, if you're learning Node.js, look how fast I create you the Node.js.pdf file. And right here is the whole documentation for it. But then you say, this is only 12 pages. This is not a book. Yes, it is. I actually do a Control F and type in HTTPS and then search for HTTPS. There's 2 of 9. So every URL that are accessed here, I just take you to that one. For example, if you say, go to the nodejs.org website, you click on it, now you're on nodejs.org website. And you can go here on the technical, the manual pages, and just go to the, not the menu, you can go to the docs and then learn everything. Let's say you're looking for operating system and you say a node, how do I generate the CPU information to just get the output of the CPU information here. So this is a function os-.cpus. And here's os.architecture, give you the architecture. And os. Let's say on machine name, and then it is there. So as an example, if I open a terminal on the PowerShell on this one, notice this one is a PowerShell hostname algorithm. So I'm going to go cd to my main directory here. If I just type in node, and then it takes me to node version this. I could have exit out of this one, say node -- version, and it tells me the version that I'm running here. So if I get inside node, and then I say os dot, notice that if I press tab, all the kind of functions and exception and all the properties, everything's are going to be displayed here. So you don't have to memorize each function by name. But if you say, okay, I know that CPUs is going to give me the CPU's details, and then right there. And then you say os.user info. So I'm going to get the user information here. And then os.architecture, give me the architecture x64. os.host name, just give me the host name of it, algorithm that we earlier checked. And then os.machine name, and it's x64. os.platform, if platform is not there, let's see if it is there or not. Platform, let's see if it is a function or not. Yeah, it is a function. So it's going to show you 32-bit. Now, if I just go to a Linux server and I say which node, and then node is installed, and say node -- version, notice that I have node also here. So I'm going to move this one on top of this. Actually, I could put it next to each other, and then you see the similarity. So clear screen node -- version, give me a node and then say node, get inside node. .exec, it will exec. I already checked what was there, so I could say node dot user info. Notice this is a function. The user info, not node, OS dot OS is the module, and then the function is user info. So OS dot CPUs, that will give you CPUs. And then OS dot arc for architecture, it will give you architecture. So let me just exit out of here. Dot exit, clear screen, and then say node, and then OS dot architecture, OS dot platform. See that this one, the other one says platform is Windows 32. This one is Linux, so it says Linux. And then OS dot host name. This one is not algorithm. It's my web tutorial. So those kind of information are all related to what, depending on what you're looking for, right? And then I'm going to exit out of this. Similarly, we could do that for Node, for Python, using this documentation. So if you're coming here and you say, okay, we learned about Node, how about Python? So I give you Python here on my chapter 12. Let me just show you how you get into chapter 12. So if you go to MyWebUniversity.com main page, then click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, there's 15 chapters on my book. One of them is the dynamic generation of Linux Ubuntu manual pages. So if you ever wonder where to get it, just come into MyWebUniversity. From there, you will find everything. So right here, if I search for Python, for example, Python, and then I just search it, and now I generated 7 pages of PDF on Python. So in this case, if you do Control F and then type HTTPS, notice python.org is there and PyPy is there. All of those ones are going to benefit you here. If you go on the documentation and then go to beginners levels or advanced levels or intermediate, whatever you're looking for, you have here information. And then look at PA specification and click on any of them and then start learning. And the code is there. So that is for Python. At the same time, if you say, what about GCC, GNU C collection compiler? So that is used on Windows as well as Linux, as well as high performance computing. So a lot of the GCC is GNU C collection compiler. Look at it, it's 399 pages. So I provide you 399 PDF pages on the fly in nanoseconds. As soon as you search for it, it is just given to you in less than a few seconds. So, and that is there, but at the same time you say, well, I'm looking for a for statement, a while statement, just search for it. Control F and then say while, and then it will tell you that everywhere that the while is used, at some point you will see some while syntax there. This is a stack for creating data structures. And so you could see a lot of them. And these are the F statement, how you do it, C and other ones. And while, for loop, and I'm sorry, I click on the wrong button right here. So you could see there was a while loop right there. Somewhere I read the while loop. That's okay. You could search for it and then you will see a while statement right here. And then there's obviously some examples will come up. And let's say while loop. One of one, yeah. So the do while and other ones. Sometimes those structures are given examples. Sometimes you just have to dig into the documentation further to see actual syntax. And then the other thing that you could do is here look for like HTTPS for other documentations. See like GNU.org, GNU website, C99, and you could see all of that informations are here. At the same time, if you're looking for Control F HTTPS, search for more for maybe open acc.org. This is like a lot of documentation here that you could just get for HPC, high performance computing. University of Pittsburgh and other universities, TAC and Gallica and all of those ones, they're doing super computing. Gallica 2 at JPL, and then TAC and Texas Automation Supercomputing, and Pittsburgh PSC. They are doing a lot of these kind of parallel processing on GPUs and high performance computing. So just look at those ones if you're interested. But at the same time, if you're looking for like Go-build for Go language, obviously I just produce you this one. Now you can go to do Control F and say Golang or HTTPS. That will take you to golang.org, and then you just go to Golang, and then now you're on Go language. And then here's the documentation that you could just go and then go to specification, release notes or user manuals or anything. How to install it and get started, all of that. Okay, so that is for Go. And if you say, how about Ruby? Just type in Ruby here. Notice that I have a ZSH by default. So if you click on the ZSH here, and then I generate you the ZSH.org, ZSH page, which has the ZSH.org also. If you search for HTTPS, and then ZSH.org is right there. There's FTP version of it and other ones. So the one that you wanted to go is ZSH.org, like this one, and then MLA is these ones. But if you remove this one, you take it to the main one website, ZSH.org for United States, and you could see technical documentation manuals. You could have the PDF version on US letters, and just right there, it's about 551 pages. So all of those ones are there, and then you learn something on the ZSH, and let's say you say, how am I going to do a ZSH of for statement, a for loop or something? You could do Control F and then say for loop, and then search for it right there, and then for loop on page 12. So if you just go on that one, you could just practice it. But let me show you an easy way. Right here, you're on a Linux server, cat-n, cat-n etcos-release. I'm already on a Linux Ubuntu. So if I just say uname -a, that is all information. Uname -r, that's the kernel build. And then uname -s, system name. Uname -o, operating system name. Uname -m, machine type name. Uname P for platform name, 64-bit. So why am I showing you that one? Because I'm on the Linux Ubuntu. So if I just want to do a for statement, first I need to do bash. So on bash, you can see on my process, echo $shell is saying that it's using bash. Get end password, and then ID-UN for my username. I'm saying that ID-UN is Wahid. So for Wahid, I'm using bash. And then I could say PS, or I say echo $0 also shows me bash. So a lot of ways that I can confirm that I'm using bash. However, if I want to do a for statement here, I could say for $num and put a sequence here, 1 to 10, let's say. And then I say do, and say echo $num colon hello world. So 10 times we're gonna just say that word, and then say done. And that's how easy it is. Now, if I want to just make it that as a little bit color on it, then I can introduce a utility called laugh out loud cat. And then I just generate you that information. Notice how easy it is coding there. So now I am using bash. I could say go to ZSH, and now I'm using ZSH here. I change my shell and I say PS echo and dollar sign pointing to the process ID of ZSH, which is this one. And if I just do the syntax of for statement again, say for num and put a sequence here, 1 to 10 again, same exact syntax, and bash is a born again shell, but ZSH is an enhanced version of it. So it is basically supporting this plus more, which is theme and colors and this and that. So, and then I say num hello world, and then say done. Okay, so something I missed here as a quotation here. So for num in sequence to echo done this. This secondary code is giving me saying that you missed something. So let me control C out of it, say for num and okay, so this one I'm gonna do sequence of 1.10 and then do this and single quote and then say do echo dollar sign num and then hello for and then say done. And it's still not doing it. Let me see why I say for num and sequence of 10 do echo and dollar sign and num done. Yeah, so and this one would be an echo sequence would be I could say sequence of a start sequence is let's say 10 comma 1 difference and 20 maybe. Let's see. The order I don't remember what it is. Sequence it might be like 1 and then ending space and ending and then increment by. Make this one a little bit up. Yeah, so that is difference between 1, 5, and 2, those orders. But if I just say, let me look at, so this is when you come in and say man sequence. Here the sequence it says first increment, last. That's how it works. So first, right here, I'm going to say first, increment by 2 and by 2 and up to 20. So now I should get 1, 3 and then 5 and 7 and up to 19 or 20, the last one. One num and sequence. Because I put the sequence and I did not this one itself, you could just do it like that. Let's see, sequence of 1, 2, and 20 will automatically generate that output. But if I want to do it in for a statement, I have to do something like for num and then backtick this syntax and then backtick this and say do echo dollar sign num and done. Now I just did it. So why this one works versus the previous one? Because sequence is going to execute it in this syntax. Once you give it this syntax, it's going to generate the number 1 through 19. However, if you put it within another variable, like declaring num, and you're saying for num, you want to reuse num, then you have to put this one in backtick, meaning that this one is going to generate this order. Then every time within the for statement, I just say $num pointing to 1, $num pointing to 3, and so on. So another syntax you could do on this one, and instead of the backtick, you could say a subshell, like $, and then put this one into that argument. It will just do the same thing. So if you want to just change the num here and say num colon hello world, and then exclamation mark. I lost the exclamation mark. Fasting, a little bit tired. So laugh out loud cat, and then done, and this should do that one. But wait, why didn't do it? Laugh out loud cat. Okay, sequence. So something I missed. Let me just do the previous command here. This one generates it. Now I'm just gonna say echo hello, and then followed by this hello world. So if you do one step at a time, you want to make sure that you get the output. Then you say, okay, now I'm going to just introduce another utility to change the color. So then after this one, you could say laugh out loud cat, and that will just do it. I'm not sure what I might have typed earlier that did not do it somewhere here. Maybe one character mistyped or something. Maybe the colon was too close. I think that could have caused it. Because when you put the colon too close, it says $num is not a variable. So like right here, this one, if I just take it like that, then okay, that didn't work. So somewhere I might have had a typo, some characters. You should always include this one in braces, so interpolate it, and that would always work. And that way it's safer. If the variable has spaces like program files, and between there's like a space, you want to double code it on this one, and you could also do this. And if you just double code it inside here, for whatever reason you're double coding it, use single quote inside, double quote outside, or double quote inside, single quote outside. You cannot do double quote within double quote, because if you do double quote here, and this will throw an error, because it says it started here and it ends here, this string. Similarly for the other one. Okay, in this case, it did work. Okay. Enough of those demos and chapters, and I have given you everything. So I'm gonna go back to chapter 15, which is the topic of this this video. So the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, you come in here, and I provide you the interface on this one because I knew that the students cannot learn without having a Linux operating system at their hands. So a lot of people, they don't have access to Amazon Web Services or virtualization or Docker or some kind of Linux platforms. So I made the whole Linux available for you on a browser. This is called Linux on a browser. If you can look at it someday later, they might just say, oh, Wahid Lutfi was the one first invented this Linux on a browser on MyWebUniversity, and now people that are just using the same kind of idea, they are building a little bit more into it. Please don't just reinvent the wheel. You work with me. So if like Linus Torvalds, when he just introduced Linux, everybody collaborated. Look where Linux is now. So if you are just trying to steal the kind of stuff, I have already done a lot of videos on this one, and my technology is going to just shine, shine or not shine, it doesn't matter. I'm helping the students for free, and if you just make money out of it, and then it would be a problem. I just want to make sure that you could work with me to just benefit the students that they are not able to pay for college student books and or expensive boot camps. So here's your chance. You could come in on Linux. I'm on MyWebUniversity, chapter 15, and practice any Linux command you want. And then the commands that it's kind of security issue that you will compromise my server, I'm not allowing those ones. So how do I control that one? I'll let you know. Right here, so first thing that you need to know is like, okay, if I type in ID-UN, what does it say here? It says, oh, this one is not allowed, because I don't want to know what the user, they say, well, I know the user, the hacker will get all that information. But if I say host name, yeah, I gave you that information, it's okay, just any string is the host name, right? Even if you say cat -n etc os-release, I tell you that I'm running Linux Ubuntu 24. So if you find out vulnerabilities on 24 and they hack it, that's fine. Just go ahead, hack it, and I'll just have backup. I'll restore from my backup, and I still help students. Nobody's going to hack a website that is just not for making money. I'm not making money on this website. I'm just there to help students and developers and hence other people's career. So don't hack this site if you even know how to hack it, or someday there's a vulnerability found. Nobody guarantees that there's not going to be a vulnerability on these binaries and utilities and software as we age out through end of life for them. But I guarantee you that there's a lot of stuff I have already taken care of it, so you're okay with it to learn, and then you can help it. So if you type in ls -l, it will give you a list of all the files here. If you say, okay, what about date command? Can I run? Yes, date command, you can see here, it runs dynamically. Today is February 22, 17, and then later on when I run this one, at the time, it will show a different time. Even like you see, the second is 08. If I run it again, the 08 is going to change to 26, as you can see here. And then the next time I run it, it's dynamically, it just keep changing. So if I type in the calendar command, you can see the calendar command, it shows the current month of February. But if I say calendar -b for before, and then show me 2 months before February, then it's going to show me January and December of 2025 and January of 2026, 2 months before. But if I say calendar -b, only one, show me only January, so February and January will be shown. If you say calendar -b 5 months before February, then you can see September, October, November, December, January. And similarly for the -b is before. If you want to see calendar -a for after, you could say show me 5 months after February, and that will just give you February, March, April, May, June, July. And similarly, if you want to say calendar -b 2, I'm sorry, calendar -a2 after 2 months after February, it will say March and April. This is not only to that month. So my A -12 months, then you could say it started in February and then it ends of February 2027, 12 months after. So then you could also say, show me calendar of 2026, just the whole year of 2026. Or just say, what is calendar 1, 2027? If you want to say next year, what is the first year and date is Thursday. You can see that. Or say, give me the epoch calendar 9070. Epoch calendar, that's going to be the Unix epoch calendar when Unix and AT&T version of it at Bell Laboratory by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson was invented the first time. And then since then, all these utilities are available on Unix, and then Sans Solaris and BSD, Berkeley Software Distribution, and a lot of FreeBSD. FreeBSD and BSD was the one that originally wrote it, and Sans Solaris and Mac OS X BSD borrowed it from BSD, Berkeley Software Distribution. But Fedora distribution was the main one that Red Hat and Rocky and CentOS borrowed it. And there's a lot of other ones, Debian, which is Arch Linux, and Linux Mint and other ones. So you're using here, you can see here cat -m etc/release is I'm using Linux Ubuntu release version. And at the same time, I built the Red Hat Rocky version here. Let me just go here, log in. And this one is also Rocky 9 Enterprise Linux. So if you go here on this one and then click on these terminals here, you can see the terminals opens up very nicely, and cat -m etc/release is going to tell me that I'm running Ubuntu, I'm sorry, Red Hat Fedora distribution of Rocky Enterprise Linux 9.2. Rocky Linux 9.2, and it's a Fedora distribution. Similarly, you can do a uname-a, and then get that information, clear screen, uname-r for revision, uname-m for machine type, sorry, uname-m for machine type, uname-o for operating system and Linux. We did that one, so you can see the format of it, and a lot more information we could just get on this one. Earlier we did some shell. So if I say who am I here, I'm logged on as myself. But if I SSH to the machine, then I will just know that who am I is going to tell me that I'm logged on this. From this machine, I can, if I SSH to another machine, Linux Ubuntu, I use SSH, secure shell. And then say Wahid at Wahid at www.mywebuniversity.com. And then I provide my credential, and then I log into it. But I'm not going to do that one in this case, and just going to Control-C out of it, because I could also go from the command line here and then say .exit out here and clear a screen and say SSH -l Wahid www.mywebuniversity.com, and then provide the credential and then authenticate there. But that's two-factor authentication, so it's secure. I'm doing that authentication, and just to show you, I've already connected here, and this is Bitwise right here, that I can open a shell, and then I'm already there on that machine. So it is very easy for you to say ID-UN and then host name, and then pwd cat -n etc/release. And then this one is telling you that's on Linux Ubuntu there. So a lot of the chapters that I'm teaching you here is on the MyWebUniversity.com page. You can practice it online here on chapter 15. So if you go to MyWebUniversity.com here, MyWebUniversity.com, and say click direct path to Linux Ubuntu, on chapter 2, I give you a lot of 33 commands that you can practice. each command that you click on, you could practice them there. Like calendar, I showed you there, you could just type it in here. Similarly, on the system there, on the stuff here, you could type in the same thing. Calendar minus B5, it will just show you the same thing. So if I say calendar minus B2, then 2 months before, or a calendar minus B minus A2, 2 months after February, March, and this. And then calendar 1 and 9070, those ones are all available for you. If you say, give me calendar of 2020, 2030, like, yeah, you just get that the whole year. And if you want to say, give me calendar 6 of 2001, so then that's June of 2001. Okay, and then here you could write commands also, and then here you could write commands here. So for example, here I say banner hello world, and sorry, banner hello world. It will just write that one, and then you say make it laugh out loud cat, see if it nicely changes the colors as you want it here. But on the browsers, I'm not going to change the coloring. I could allow you to type in, say, banner here hello world, and then I'll just produce this hello world, and then say banner peace to all, and then it will say peace to all, and say banner learning online is simpler at MyWebUniversity. I don't have to say at MyWebUniversity. You could see that it is there simpler. And then you could say, for example, if I want to just say the word at MyWebUniversity, I could use the MyWebUniversity is more than 8 characters. So when you write a banner MyWebUniversity.com, for example, it will just truncate it and says MyWebUniversity, the first 8 characters, the rest of them will not be printed. The only way you could do that one, say banner MyWebUniversity, univ right there, and then say space versity.com. And then you could have both of them, and there as if it is turned into this side. However, you can use the Figlet. You say Figlet -F for font, and you say big, for example, and you say my web university, and then .com. Let's see if that .com. See, my web university is spelled, and .com is going to the next one. And you could also use this one with a shorter font. So you could say Figlet -F and then terminal for term, and then MyWebUniversity.com has made it simpler. So now you can see MyWebUniversity.com made it simpler right there. And then you could do a lot of different fonts. So you could say banner, not banner, Figlet -F, and then say standard, and then say happy birthday. So you could say to someone, to let's say anybody that you do it. I did it to my son, Murtaza Ali. And so this is like happy birthday, Murtaza Ali. His birthday was on the 19th, so I sent him this. And you can just cut and paste this information here and say copy this one into a email system or a link, and as soon as the person clicks on it, then they will just see it. Then here they can also change the font. So if they want to say the font instead of standard, they could say show me in a small. There's different fonts that you could do a small, and then just press enter, and it will just do that as small. And if you say instead of small, and say make it a block kind of things, and then now it is done and that. And then on top of it, you could say, for example, a font, and then maybe a bubble. Bubble is not like as cool, but then it is going to be like a bubble, but inside it, the actual happy birthday information is written here. You can do also banner, and that's like similar to using the banner command. At the same time, if you say, what are these fonts? How do you know that, Wahid? Show fake fonts or the commands that actually will show you. So banner is one font, and here's the banner. Big is another font, and here's the big. Block is another one. Notice that this is a command, and the output I'm showing you on a browser. This is what I mean by Linux Online is made simpler. A scripting language, you could do that one also. So one of the things you could do is say dash figlet and dash f, and then change this one to a script kind of things, plus a script. And then now say happy birthday Murtaza Ali, love you, or something. Whatever you had, Ali, Johnny Baba, love you. Johnny Baba means my dear son. Baba is that. John means my dear, I love. So and Farsi in our Iranian language, we say Hazizam, or Jonim, or Qalbim, Dalim, Jigarim. Those are very nice way to just associate someone you love with your parts of your heart, or liver, or del, or jigar, or something. So let's go back to this chapter, on chapter 2. So a lot of these commands, like for example, this command, you could say cat the file, right? Cat the contents of it. You could just read it here, and then also you could read the PDF version of it, and just say how the cat command works, and then start learning. But at the same time, on this book, when I'm doing the stuff, I could say cat -n etc networks. etc network file is a small file. So etc networks, cat -n etc networks. The S has to be there. Otherwise, if you just type it without the S, it's not going to be understood. So like right here, copy this line and say ls -ld, and then paste that one, and then press enter. So I showed the content. I mean, this is the file. And if I say, show me statistic about that file, stat of that file, and that's giving you a statistic on that file, saying what was accessed, what was modified, what was used. Similarly, for each file, you could do that one. So I could say stat etc os-release release file, and then that will give me a statistic on it. Or cat etc os-release, or just say df-h human readable format. Remember, I showed you PS3 1 for process stream 3.1, and I said there's more flags here. You could just type in, say, PS3 1 -t for threads, show me the threads also, and then the threads are there. So each one of them, you could also say PS3 -t thread -p, and then the process ID 1 for the system ID 1. And notice here that for each sub-processes that are being invoked and the threads that are invoked are shown here. It's huge because we got more information here this time, right? And then at the same time, if you're looking for something to say, I want to see a manual pages for Bash, yeah, just I generate you the manual pages here in a very nice HTML format. You could just read it. And you say manual for ZSH and show me ZSH, and then I just trim it. And you say, show me manual pages for example, man itself, and then you could get the manual pages here. Or say manual pages for GCC, and that is a lot of information, 399 pages. So you could do that one. And then also you could say info is another way of doing it. So this is still updating. It's a huge info PWD, and then it says what is PWD, info LS, and then what is LS information, and say what is PWD, what is tells you what is this command do. So what is PS3, it will show PS3 display 3, everything that you need to know. What is calendar, it tells you the calendar command. What is df, and then what is let's say file system checker, it will tell you check the file system. What is and this is the app for application package index package tools. What is app dash get, so on. A lot of the things are there. So, and where is another command? Where is PWD, the path to something? Where is apt install, user ben apt? Where is calendar command? And then the thing that you could do is where is there's also something called base name. So for user ben cal, the base name would be cal. For base name of user ben pwdx would be pwdx. And base name of my program called base name of user left cgi dash ben slash loop slash Linux online underscore 2.cgi would be I typed it wrong. So let me just type in base name user left cgi dash ben slash loop slash Linux online underscore 2.cgi. It's going to say Linux online on this. But if I just want to say base name was man base name give you the actual file name, right? But if you want the dir name, man dir name is going to give you the directory name. So if I say which pwdx, and then I say, okay, it's user ben. So to understand base name of user ben pwdx was giving you pwdx, but then pwdx base name of user ben pwdx. I did not type in the x at the end, that's why it says there's a command pwd also. But their name of user ben pwdx, it should say user ben as the dir name. So dir name versus base name. And there's also locate command. Locate, let's say pwdx. All the occurrence of it on the system will show this one. You could also do the what is a pwdx. We did that one, but you also do a man minus k pwdx. So this one I did not allow it to do this kind of option. That's why this command is not allowing it. So you cannot come and say change mode 777. Let's say some command like store.cgi. You cannot do that one. Say change modes and this one. No such file or command. So at this time, it did not find the file, but let's say I say ls -l star.cgi, and then I say, okay, go ahead and change the mode. On that one, change mode. 755 star.cgi. And it says that no such file or directory because I'm not allowing it something like that to execute because you're changing permission. If you say rm-rf slash some stuff, then I say whatever you type in, I read it, it says no, this is not allowed with rm-rf. So if you say rm-rf slash store.cgi and say this is not allowed. You say rm-rf root directory not allowed. rm-rf slash star slash temp slash stars whatever syntax you do xyz this, and then I say no, this is not allowed. I don't allow those ones because of certain format. If you say let me just create a file, say vim rm.sh, and then I want to modify it, no, you're not allowed to create files. If you just say Emacs and then vim rm.sh, something like that, no, not allowed. So you say bash and then -x test1.sh, it's no, it's not allowed. But if you say man bash, that's a fair command, I allow you to read it. Now, if you say user at test 1, 2, 3, I'm not allowing you to create a test user. User at anything and doesn't allow you anything. Group at anything and not allow you. So no matter what the string you use as the argument, I just detect that string, say with the group at or group del or group mode, you cannot do those things. So this is like a little bit more secure, but I'm sure there might be something someday it's open, you could do that one. Here, the nice thing about this interface is that you can practice any Linux command you can think of. And then what I don't allow you, I already wrote to you a book online for chapter 2, chapter 3, and other ones. And then for each chapters, look at all these commands that you can practice, like who. So you come in and say, give me the w, all the user who is logged on. I show you those things. And then give me IPA, for example, the address, I'm not allowed to find out my IP address. Cat APC host file, it's going to give you the content. Doesn't matter. You know the IP address of it, but it is translating to just public IP address, and public IP address, everybody knows it. So, and let's look up on google.com. Name server lookup, you can see and use my website, you can do that one. And say ping google.com, it will just ping Google and it, after fork connection, it will just say there. Ping google.com at this time, timeout after 5 seconds, because I might have just said don't allow it. But in this lookup, minus query is equal mx and google.com to find out the mail SMTP for Google. That's how you do that. And in this lookup, minus query is equal a record, google.com, you can get the a record of google.com. And these commands let's see, and let's look up minus query is equal to and google.com. Let's see why. Yeah, and my double uppercase A was not recognized. And then minus CNAME. So you could say those command as well. And then there's a man and dig command, dig DNS lookup utility. So you could say dig and .myWebUniversity.com. And then you get all the information, DNS entries with the IP address and everything, and there. And then a lot of commands. So right here, chapter 2, manual pages touch. You cannot touch files here. You cannot say touch a file. So as soon as you try to touch it, it says no, it's not allowed, that one. But if you say, let's say, echo rm minus rf slash, and then send this one greater sign to temp p.sh, and then say bash minus x slash temp slash t.sh. You say create this file with the rm minus rf and then name it t.sh, then bash minus x, execute it and say no, you cannot create file because I'm seeing that what you're doing here. So you're not allowed to do that. So this is a very nice stable system for a student to learn. And then don't panic if it someday gets hacked or something. I have had it since 2000 and it's 26 years. I have not seen a situation for it. I don't believe anybody could hack it, but if they could someday, please let me know. I always have a backup system. So right here, my system is always clean and backed up here. So let me show you how you could make sure that your system is safe. So right here, every changes that I have done today is up to date. I'm gonna say become root here. And then I say cat minus n etc dash release. I'm on this system and I say update, and then you can see that my system is up to date. But if there's a little bit changes, I can update it. But there wasn't because a few days ago I did the upgradable, and then those are all the list of them. If I want to just do one more 1 week of notice. So at this time, I don't want to run this one, and I want to say everything that I have is front tab minus L. I have already have a backup system that I'm doing monthly and everything else incremental. So right here is my monthly backup here. If I want to just take another backup, I show you my script here. So the script is cat minus n, and this is the content of my script. Basically, it's 43 lines, and it's written by myself, and it is just doing by date timestamp, and then generating Apache logs, and our var log is full. A lot of stuff that I back up, the libraries and my home directories, and my brother's home directory. All of the developers, I maintain those backups, programs, and everything that we do, IT development on it together. And then at the same time, this is something that I just have the tar, right? So all of the work that I'm tarring it up at the same time, I put it on the destination, which is home Wahid new backup directory. So if I go to home Wahid and new backup directory and do ls minus ltr, there's a lot of them. Notice that I have backup of the latest one is 220, and today is 22. So I could just do another backup and get rid of these ones, the one that are 201. So in order for me to delete everything that is 201 2026, I could say first, I just say ls minus ltr star 2 dash 01 dash 2026 star. Now I have 10 of them. I do a word count minus L. I get those ones, and all I have to do is instead of less than them, I say RM minus RF and remove them. Now I don't have those ones anymore. So if I just say, give me the list of all the files that are latest one, now I have a shorter version, but 216, I'm going to also delete it. 216, and then all the 216, I'm gonna do deletion. Notice for 216, I get it a different hour backup because I might have changed it, but 220 has the latest one. So I'm gonna keep the 220, and then 216, I'm gonna wipe it out, and now 20 of them. And so let's go to this one. I'm going to say RM. And now it is done, clear screen. So let's see what is there, 209 and 210. So I'm gonna delete those one, 209. I could barely see my keyboard. Let me just turn on the light. It is getting dark. And then I'll come back and do the rest of these ones. 1 second. Okay, I'm back here. Now I have more lights. I can see my keyboard. So if I do ls minus L, what other ones? 220 is there, and 210. 0210 and 0210. So 0210 is actually the one that I wanna have, the one that is the latest one. And 0201, the timestamp, notice that I have taken 0220 and twice. Let's see, 0210. Let me just list it here for 02 1026. Here, I'm going to say 02 10 star 2026 star, and that one shows 10 of them. 10 of them, and then what is the full of them? As 02 20 20 02 10. Okay. So 02 10 is gonna go out, and 20 is gonna stay. That's 10 is too long ago. I'm gonna remove this one, and now we only have the 20. The 20 is going to stay, and then I'm gonna run another cron jobs. But before I do the cron jobs, I'm running a Tmax. I'm going to start a Tmax. Tmax is really cool stuff, terminal multiplexer. So if I just say I'm running Tmax, what is Tmax? Tmax is allowing me to run a terminal, log out of my shell, and then come back to it, and still that session is attached, as long as I don't exit out of it. So how do I do that one? Now, if I say Control B, detach, now notice I get this detached here. So if I clear screen, I say Tmax ls, and then it says, oh, there's a Tmax session that I can attach to it. And now I am back to that one. So if I say run top command, quit out of clear screen, top command, and then Control B, detach, then I come back here and say these commands, and then say Tmax ls, Tmax attach, and now my top command is there. At the same time, if I just wanted to run a cron job, say cron tab minus L, and then this was my backup for the this monthly, I'm going to run that one. I'm going to just paste that one, and I say, go ahead and run it. Notice it's backing up my files so fast, but it is in hundreds of thousands of files, so it's going to take a while, maybe half an hour to an hour. So I could do Control B, detach here, and then go and my business, exit out of this one, exit out of this one, and then say, okay, later on I could come back and log into the shell, and then say ID-UN, I'm Wahid here. But I was running Tmax LS is not there, but I was running it as root, so I have to become root here. And then now I say Tmax LS, I'm going to see that one. Tmax attach, and then attach to it. I could type A for attach, that's good enough. Control B, and then detach, is there. Tmax, and then I could also say, for example, for Tmax attach, I could say, well, let's do Control B and Shift double string. Now I'm creating a new terminal or pane under the horizontal way. If I want vertical, I go Control B and then Shift %. And then now it is a vertical. And then if I want to do shift to the right or to the left, either I could do Control B and then arrows, and then or exit out of it, or just do this one. So if I run top here, I could just see the top command. Now I Control B detach, and this time if I say Tmax attach, now notice the same session that I went out, it is there. If I exit out of this one and say, okay, can I just come back tomorrow and just become root, and then say, okay, log in back as root, and say Tmax LS, Tmax attach, and where I was left off last time. Isn't that cool? So, and instead of using a screen or no app or background the jobs, I use Tmax. Tmax is very useful. And it is also supported on Rocky Linux and other ones also. So I didn't give you too much of Rocky stuff, but I need to drop off because I was fasting all day. Now it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to break my fast, and you guys have a great one. God bless you all. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, this is your opportunity to subscribe and learn stuff and help yourself and help your family get better skills and better career. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.